Right, then, so this next drawing technique we're going to have a go at is 1 point perspective. Okay, so perspective drawing is a way of making objects or products look realistic as possible. So with 1 point perspective and also with 2 point perspective, which is something we'll look at later on, we're going to need a horizon line, okay, which we're going to pop on onto our sheet in a moment. Okay, in terms of tools that you're going to need a ruler, preferably a 30cm one, just because we are going to be using it to go across the whole page, which make your life a bit easier. You're going to need a pencil, again, make sure it is really sharp, and obviously just some plain paper. All right. So your horizon line is just a really faint line that goes across the middle of your page. So I'm going to put my ruler across the middle, and nice and lightly, I'm not putting hardly any pressure onto my pencil, just across the middle like that. Okay. The reason we don't want it to be too thick is because it's not part of the actual drawing. It's just what we call, it's one of the construction lines, something we use to help create the drawing. So we've got the horizon line. We also need a vanishing point. Now, your vanishing point is something that we're going to use to make these drawings that we're going to make them look 3D and make them look as though they're sort of disappearing into the distance, hence the name vanishing point. And it's going to be right in the middle. So I'm just going to put just a little mark there on my horizon line to show that's my vanishing point. Now, your horizon line, anything you draw above it should appear as though it's above your eye line, so it should be like you're looking up at it. Anything below it, it should appear as though it's below your eye line and you're looking down on it. Okay, and you'll start to realise that as we add shapes on. So we're going to start off with drawing a cube. Okay, now whenever you're drawing in 1 point perspective, you always start off by drawing a 2D shape. Okay, so in this instance, because we're drawing a cube to finish with, the 2D shape is going to be a square. And I'm going to use my ruler just to make sure it's nice and accurate. I'm going to draw it in this sort of top corner over here. So we'll go there. Again, I'm not putting too much pressure on my pencil. This is something that you need to be working on and getting better at as you go through these techniques. It's about the control of your pencil and how much pressure you're actually putting on. Because at the minute we're just constructing the drawing, so all of these lines at the minute are construction lines. We will go over them later on to make them stand out a bit more. So I've got my 2D shape, not a perfect square, more of a rectangle, but still it's not a problem. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go from the corners of this shape to my vanishing point. So I'm going to line up the ruler with this top corner just here and with my vanishing point, and nice and lightly go to my vanishing point. Same again from this corner here, the one that's closest. Line it up. Like that. Same again on this corner, line it up. Like that. Okay, now I've gone really light with those pencil lines. Like I said, they're the construction lines. At the end, you can get rid of them, but they're not part of the actual object that we're drawing. Okay, that's why they're really faint. Now, you might be wondering, I've only gone from 3 corners, okay? I've not gone from this corner to the vanishing point, okay? The reason for that, if I went from there to the vanishing point just there, it would cut through the actual object I'm drawing. Now, let's imagine I was drawing a glass box, okay? It was made of glass, that was the material. Then I probably would see that edge there and I would put it in. However, what I'm drawing here is going to be a solid box. I'm going to put some colour on there in a moment, okay? So you wouldn't see that back edge just there, which is why I've only gone from these 3 here. Now, at the minute, it looks like a continuous shape. It's just going towards the vanishing point, and it's sort of like never ending. It continues forever and ever. And obviously, we don't want that. We're wanting to be drawing something up here, so we need to stop it. So we're going to draw in 2 lines. We're going to draw one between these 2 construction lines and one between these 2. Now, the lines that we put in need to be parallel to the object here. Okay, so I'm going to do this one first. So this line here, it's perfectly vertical. So whatever line I'm putting down here needs to be perfectly vertical. So I'm going to go, we'll just make my shape about yay big. So between these two lines here, go from there to there. And you'll notice that I'm putting in a bit more pressure on my pencil, and you can see that because it's darker. Now the next line is going to be parallel to this line here, which is perfectly horizontal. And it needs to join up here. So all I'm going to do is get my ruler, slide it up just so it's meeting that point there. I can go across. Now, what a lot of, I'm not going to do this just yet, but what a lot of people will do here is they will draw a line like that, because their minds, your eyes, make you think that that's the way it should go. Okay, like that, because that's quite a short line. This one needs to be a short line here. Okay, that's not right. You need to make sure that it's pointing in the same direction as the object line here, as that one there. So line it up. And again, putting on a bit more pressure, like that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go back over where I've put these construction lines in, but only between those points there, just to make my object stand out. So that one just there. And that one just there. Now, like I said at the start, this is above my horizon line. Okay, it's above it, it's at the top. So it looks like I'm looking up at this object, which is why I can see the face at the bottom. Okay, if I drew it somewhere down here, it would look like I was looking down on it, but obviously I'm looking up at this one. So that's how you draw a simple cube. Okay, so give that a go. Try a couple of times if you want to, spread them around the page. Okay, and then we'll move on to some more difficult shapes in a moment.